Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Park Ji-ha album, Communion. This is the full-length debut album of South Korean composer and multi-instrumentalist Park Ji-ha, who is handy on reed instruments such as the Piri and mouth organ, but also the hammered dulcimer. And also on this album, respectively, she also features Kim Oki, John Bell, and Kang Tae-kyun, who bring tenor sax and bass clarinet and vibraphone and percussion. Now, going into this record, originally I was intrigued by the advertised clash of genres coming together on this thing. Korean traditional music and jazz and minimalism. And certainly all of those influences apply to this album. The issue, though, is just not all that consistently, to the point where across this very short track list, the record wasn't entirely sure what it wanted to be. There are 7 tracks on this thing, and what mix of genres you're getting really kind of depends on which track you're listening to. There is the stunning and sprawling opening track, where just these gorgeous reeds skate majestically across an icy bed of vibraphone, one of the truly seamless fusions of Korean traditional music and jazz accompaniment on the album. The performance on this thing is transcendental and features some really great improvisations in the second half. And I think the only track in the track listing that came as close to being this exciting and having this much instrumental density had to be the song All Souls Day, where Park isn't playing a reed instrument, but instead the hammered dulcimer along with a backdrop of similar jazz instrumentation. The track is a very meditative progression, but hits an incredibly chaotic conclusion with these crashing dulcimer notes and wailing reeds and kind of dissonant vibraphone. It sounds like heaven crashing down onto earth, and it's a total bloodbath. It's completely worthy of the title All Souls Day. Now, while not the nail-biters that these songs are, there are some surrounding tracks that are quite decent, slightly diminished in terms of genre crossover and instrumental density. I enjoy the really drony, cerebral introduction to the album, which I presume features the mouth organ, which has an incredibly otherworldly sound. It comes off almost synthetic in timbre, and features these strange, stuttering vibratos, which sound like they were drummed up in like a digital audio workstation or something. It just sounds like completely not of this galaxy. The track in general is a great introduction and is just gorgeous, mysterious, and strange. Then there are these solo hammered dulcimer pieces in the track listing, which admittedly underwhelm me quite a bit. The dulcimer playing is a lot more pensive than a lot of the more reed-centric tracks on the track listing. Both tracks feature super subtle progressions and reach similarly noisy and kind of aggressive finishes. The second of these 2 dulcimer pieces, Sounds Heard from the Moon, sounds eerily similar to that of the last track, which it pretty much just sounds like the same exact composition, but now we're hearing sax along with it. Which, I love the addition of that sax. I think it brings so much to the composition. I just wish that was the only instance in which we heard this composition in the track listing. Like, does hearing it pretty much a second time, but with another instrument, really add that much to the record? In my opinion, not really. You know, I think this record has a really interesting combination of stylistic and musical ideas. There's some great performances on here. There's a good recording. But the album just has a really odd flow, and it's not that consistent. There are some great ideas here. I would just love to hear them fleshed out into something that is just a little bit more cohesive. Though I can say that a lot of tracks on here individually are fantastic. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, forever.